My name is Terry Hartig. I'm a professor of environmental psychology here at the Institute for Housing and Urban Research. It's how my subject relates to climate change. In many ways, in fact, many environmental psychologists are concerned with ways to change human behavior so that people are not driving climate change to the extent they currently do. Personally, I'm involved with the climate change discussion with regard to concepts such as constrained restoration and the disruption of place attachment. The constrained restoration has to do with the inavailability of environments for psychological restoration. We've seen in Sweden, for example, some indication that with relatively cool and rainy summers, there's greater dispensation of antidepressants to the population. Under climate change scenarios, this is something that may become more of a widespread problem. Another concept that I work with that also may be problematic from a climate change perspective is the disruption of place attachment. So with some climate change projections, some areas, especially low-lying areas near large bodies of water, the sea, are under risk of flooding, and there's a real possibility that populations will have to be moved away from these areas. And these are places where people have lived for very long periods of time. People may have very strong attachment to those places. Some of the needs for moving people may be quite acute and on a large scale. And so dealing with the process through which people must leave that place will be quite a challenge. And environmental psychology should have something to say about how that process can be managed. Environmental psychology can help to address global climate change by introducing psychological knowledge into the process of identifying ways to mitigate or adapt to global climate change. We clearly are going to need psychological knowledge of human needs, to find solutions that will work for people. Well, my hopes are that societies are going to get organized and cooperate to a greater extent to address global climate change, that we'll see real potent measures adopted and applied. My fears are the fears that I think most people have with this kind of conference, that there will be a lot of rhetoric, a lot of gestures, but no real change.